kabatang helmet! Siyempre, today is a very happy day. Sa lahat ng mga bagong pasok sa channel to, please don't forget to click the subscribe button at ang tiny bell para lagi tayong updated sa lahat ng mga sinasawsawan, kinakain at nakakabulol pa rin talaga. At pinupuntahan namin ni videographer. And for today's video, mga kabatang helmet, hindi ko talaga lubos maisip, videographer, kung bakit ang dami talagang nangingibang bansa ng mga nurses. Ito talaga mga batang helmet eh. Bakit kasi dito sa bansang Pilipinas, masyadong minimenos? Di ba, videographer? Pag sinabi mo yung salitang minimenos, eh tipong tinitipid. May nakuha kasi akong offer mga kabatang helmet. Hulaan mo, videographer, magkano?
Magkano?
Hulaan mo nga, di ba?
34. 40.
Good luck naman! Videographer,
50.
18,000. So, ay mga kabatang helmet namin, nag-offer sa atin na trabaho na naman, kahit may trabaho na tayo, inoferan tayo ng 18,000. Alam mo yung mga kabatang helmet, kung nung panahon ko pa, nung batch 2009, kukunin ko na yung 18,000 kasi that time, malaki na ang value ng 18,000. Pero ngayon, dahil ang dami ng titulo ng pangalan ko, hindi ko talaga siya kakayanin. Bakit?
Titulo ng pangalan mo?
Oo, titulo. Siyempre, dinecline ko yung offer. Kasi 18,000 nga yung in-offer nila. Kasi ang asking ko, para dun naman sa tipo ng trabaho na yon, nasa 35 pataas ang asking ko doon. Para dun na sa certain na kumpanya na yon. Pero yun nga, mga kabatang helmet, nakakalungkot lang dahil nga tinitipid or minimenos. Kasi hindi naman ganun kasimple yung workload. And hindi ka naman din after dun sa pera, di ba, videographer? Syempre, number one priority mo dyan is yung learning process or yung matututunan mo dun sa workplace. Pero kakaloka naman dun talaga dahil napakalaking institution naman, videographer. Tapos ganito yung offer nila. Tapos sabi nga kasi entry level daw. Pero tingnan mo naman yung experience ko, di ba, videographer? At saka naman, hindi, yung pangalan ko naman, may mga karugtong na siya. So, minsan, di ba, dapat minsan, di ba, binabalansin mo rin, winiweigh mo rin dun sa nag-a-apply or sa aplikante. Anyway, highway, eto nga mga kabatang helmet. Marahil sa inyo ay napanood na ito, no? Yung pangmalakasan na Q&A ni Senator Risa, videographer. Talagang super napawaw talaga ako rito kay Senator Risa. Parang si Atty. Lenny Robredo yung nakita ko dito sa Q&A na to, videographer.
Tapang niya.
Ang galing ni Atty. Risa.
Niya.
So, ito mga batang helmet, kung hindi nyo pa siya napanood ng buo, ito yung short video clip. Hindi nga siya short, kasi 26 minutes, di ba? 26 minutes yung Q&A between dun sa confidential funds. 26
minutes of tapang ni Senator Risa.
Kasi ang tapang talaga.
Wala siyang pake sa mga tanong niya.
Kasi yung tanong niya, napakasimple lang naman talaga ng tanong ni Senator Risa. Oo nga pala, videographer, talaga super proud talaga ako na binoto ko si Senator Risa mula noon hanggang ngayon. Talaga nasa balota ko talaga yan. Pero yun na nga mga kabatang helmet, super napakatapang talaga ni Sen Risa. Napakasimple yung tanong, videographer. Kunwari ako yung tatanungin ni Senator Risa, simple lang nung tanong.
Diretsong sagot.
Ang kailangan lang talaga, yung sagot na talagang matino, tama, at yung matapang na sagot.
President, during the 6 years of your term, ano yung ipo-pursue nyo na primary mandates ng inyong opisina?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, Yusek Lopez will answer the question.
Mr. Chair, Madam Vice President, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
Tungkol po, sorry, Chief of Staff. Mr. Chair, it's a general question kung anong primary mandates ang ipo-pursue ni VP during the 6 years of her term. So kung maaari po si VP ang sumagot.
Yes,
Mr.
okay.
Chair.
Yes,
Salamat tayo.
Yes, there will be only two permanent projects that we will leave in the office of the Vice President. One is the permanent office and residence of the future Vice Presidents. The second is the Vice President's museum. And yes, that's two. And then the third is the omnibus law about the charter of the office of the Vice President. So that's three.
Salamat kaayo, Madam VP. But I was asking po about primary mandates of your office. Ito po, I understand 2 or 3 permanent projects, yung permanent office, yung VP's Museum, tsaka yung omnibus law or charter governing the Office of the Vice President. Pero in terms of your office itself, ano yung primary mandates that you will seek to achieve as the Vice President, Mr. Chair?
The strategic direction is to institutionalize and implement socioeconomic services and key programs towards nation building in support of the 8-point socioeconomic agenda of the Office of the President and his direction and mandate of Bagong Pilipinas.
Sigurado, it's one of the toughest portfolios to hold in government, pero nakikita ko po concurrent yon sa pagiging VP. So, hiwalay pa po yung primary mandates ng DepEd, which I'll ask in the other hearing later, but may iba pa pong primary mandates yung Office of the Vice President. So, at least initially, nakikita ko yung primary mandates ng office nyo in support of the mandates and the programs of the Office of the President. I hope, Mr. Chair, dahil pangalawang taon na ito ng panunungkulan ni VP, at least in the next budget hearings, we can hear more specific and distinct mandates of the OVP kaysa lamang in support of yung mandates ng OP. The Office of the Vice President has been allocated confidential funds amounting to 500 million pesos. According to Joint Circular Number 2015-01, issued by the COA, DBM, DILG, CGC, GCG, and DND, confidential funds refer to those expenses related to surveillance activities in civilian government agencies that are intended to support the mandate or operations of that agency. So, una pong tanong dito, Madam Vice President, which mandates of the Office of the Vice President will be supported by the aforementioned allocation of the confidential funds, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, all of the projects of the Office of the Vice President use the confidential funds. It is intended for the safe, secure, and successful implementations of programs, projects, and activities and engagements of me and all the satellite offices, including the central office of the Office of the Vice President.
Kanina po sabi nyo yung primary mandates ng office nyo in the next 6 years would be in support of the primary mandates of the OP. So, alin po sa mga primary mandates na yon, as you conceive them in support of the primary mandates of the OP, alin sa mga primary mandates na yon ang masusuportahan or specifically gagastusan ng confidential funds na ia-allocate ng Kongreso sa office nyo?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, the constitutional mandate of the Office of the Vice President is only to be a reserve, a bench warmer, in the event of, I do not want to mention it, but in the event that the President cannot discharge his functions. That is the constitutional mandate of the Office of the Vice President. Apart from that, all the other projects of the Office of the Programs, Projects, and Activities of the Office of the Vice President will depend largely on the decision and discretion of the incumbent elected Vice President. So for my term, we decided on 3 permanent projects: the charter, the museum, and the permanent office and residence of the Office of the Vice President. And then we took on the projects that made the most impact when I was mayor of Davao City. These are the entrepreneurship program, the peace building in communities, the Pagbabago advocacy campaign. We added the Pagbabago A Million Trees for in support of the mandate of the DENR. And then we have the Pansarap program in support of the Department of Health and the Department of Education. And then we created the Disaster Operations Center in support of NDRIMC and all those local governments who are asking for help from the Office of the Vice President when there are calamities or emergencies in their localities. And the buses donated to me, I lent to the Office of the Vice President to support the Libreng Sakay program of the national government. In addition to that, I discharge the functions and the duties of the Secretary of the Department of Education. And in addition to that, I was tasked by the President to co-chair the National Task Force on Ending Local Communist, NTF-ELCAC. And in addition to that, I also took on the role of President of the Southeast Asian Education Ministers Organization, SIMEO. And all of these activities use confidential funds.
Kung ibig nyo pong sabihin, lahat nito, starting with the bench warming and being a reserve, and then yung entrepreneurship program, yung peace building, yung Pansarap, yung Million Trees, yung pagbabago advocacy, yung Disaster Operations Center, yung Libreng Sakay, and yung binanggit nyong 3 permanent projects, the permanent office, the VP's Museum, and the Omnibus Law or Charter. Bawat isa sa mga ito, gagastosan ng confidential funds ng opisina nyo?
Yes. Mainly, the confidential funds, as I said, is for the safe, secure, and successful implementations of the programs, projects, and activities and engagements of the Office of the Vice President. In addition, there are times when the President is on official trips, travel abroad. I chair the executive committee, which is the caretaker of the Office of the Vice President. This is an additional dagdag trabaho sa lahat ng mga trabaho na na-mention ko po.
Yung ibang items na binanggit ni Madam VP na gagastusan di umano ng confidential funds, specifically ng OVP, tulad ng sa DepEd, sa NTF-ELCAC, sa SIMEO, pati yung executive committee pag wala si Presidente, malamang sa hindi, may sariling confidential funds na hindi na ginagastosan ng confidential funds na hinihingi ng Office of the Vice President. Madam VP, Mr. Chair, furthermore, the joint circular I cited provides that confidential funds can only be used for a limited range of purposes, such as the rental of transport activities related to confidential activities. So in broad terms po, saang mga activities na enumerated sa joint circular gagamitin yung confidential funds? Just to refresh our memory, dun po sa 2015 joint resolution na yon, confidential funds can only be used for the following expenses: purchase of information necessary for the formulation and implementation of programs, activities, and projects relevant to national security and peace and order, rental of transport vehicles related to confidential activities, rentals and the incidental expenses related to the maintenance of safe houses, purchase or rentals of supplies, materials, and equipment for confidential operations that cannot be done through regular procedures without compromising the information gathering activity concerned, payment of rewards to informers, and uncovering and preventing illegal activities that pose a clear and present danger to agency personnel or property or other facilities and resources under the agency protection, done in coordination with appropriate law enforcement agencies. So, saang mga activities po na ito enumerated sa joint circular ay gagastusan ng confidential funds ng office nyo, Mr. Chair?
It varies. Not all the activities are the same for each day and each month. The liquidation of the confidential funds includes the enumeration of the use the Office of the Vice President. The confidential funds report, the joint memorandum circular requires the confidential fund report submission to the Office of the Vice President, the Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and the Commission on Audit, and we submitted the list of activities to these offices.
So, just to clarify, Madam VP, since confidential funds refer to those agencies related to surveillance activities undertaken by civilian government agencies, ibig po bang sabihin na yung opisina ninyo will be gathering intelligence on certain subjects or entities in support sa inyong mandates o mga operasyon, Mr. Chair?
That is correct. As an example, we did surveillance of complaints from constituents in Bulacan with regard to the selling of OVP assistance and the selling of Tupad projects in Bulacan. And there was a surveillance operation that was run by the VP SPG for about a month, and we were able to apprehend the person, and we were able to successfully prosecute the case, and that person went to jail for ilang months? 6 months. For 6 months. So that is an example of the surveillance activities that is conducted by the VP SPG for the projects and activities of the Office of the Vice President. It was in Bulacan.
Salamat kaayo, Madam VP. I ask this because the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency was established to direct, coordinate, and integrate national intelligence activities. And this includes the collation of intelligence gathered from various sources. So we'd like more information as to the intelligence operations of the OVP. Sa aling mga sources magagather ng impormasyon yung OVP? Kukuha ba kayo ng intelligence mula sa ating mga existing intelligence services tulad ng NICA o tulad ng DND at PNP?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, no. Intelligence starts with the communities and the stakeholders, and then if there are complaints, and then it is built up through intelligence and surveillance services, and then a dossier or a report is started, and then it goes through levels through the Office of the Vice President and VP SPG. So we do not seek intelligence reports from other government agencies, but the intelligence reports starts from the ground in the communities that that are engaged by the Office of the Vice President.
Salamat kayo, Madam VP. Actually, I'll get to that process also in a bit. Dahil meron pong established na intelligence cycle at meron pong established na chain of command for the intelligence activities ng ating gobyerno at ng ating republika. And sa pagkaalam ko po, walang hiwalay na chain of command for Intel ang OVP. In fact, ang susunod kong tanong how can your honorable office, paano nyo po maa-assure yung mga miyembro nitong komite na yung collection ng intel ng inyong opisina hindi magre-resulta sa redundancy or duplication of effort?
There is no redundancy and duplication of effort because we have different mandates from the other government agencies.
Indeed, Mr. Chair, Madam VP, different mandates. And kanina, nilista nyo na po yung iba't ibang mandates ng OVP. Meron din pong klarong at complementary mandate ang intelligence community ng gobyerno sa ating bansa. And as I had been saying since last year's budget debates, we should leave intelligence to the experts, just as we leave education to the DepEd and we leave the mandates of the OVP to the OVP. Ano po ba yung magiging subjects ng OVP intelligence gathering operations? Ano yung mga intensyon at capabilities ng mga subjects na ito na kailangan ng OVP ng intelligence on these? At paano nitong mga subjects tinathreaten yung operations ng OVP?
Confidential funds is used for the safe, secure, and successful implementations of the projects, programs, and activities and engagements of the Office of the Vice President.
Sino po yung subjects? Ano yung intentions at capabilities ng mga subjects? At paano tinetrete ng mga subjects na to yung mga operasyon ng OVP?
This is for the successful, safe, secure, and successful implementation of the projects, programs, and activities and engagements of the Office of the Vice President. If the question is the subjects on who are the sources, we cannot divulge who are the sources of intel information. We can just say that these are the stakeholders in the areas where there are engagements of the Office of the Vice President.
Hindi po sources, Madam VP, pero yung mga taong o grupong ginagatheran nyo ng opisina nyo ng intelligence?
Yes, those that are perceived to be threats in the successful, safe, and secure implementation of the PPAs.
Salamat, Madam VP. Mr. Chair, I'll need to follow up. I'll give you my 5 minutes. Oh, salamat, Mr. Chair. Salamat, Madam VP, Mr. Chair. I'll need to pursue that in greater detail than is being made available right now. Doon na lang po sa plenary. Madam VP, paano po ire-recruit ng OVP at ite-train yung mga intelligence operatives at agents na kakailanganin ng office para i-gather yung impormasyon para sa intelligence collection plan? Hanggang saang extent magre-rely ang OVP sa HUMINT at sa CGINT para sa information collection requirements ng office?
The Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group coordinate with the Philippine National Police and the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Unfortunately, however, the commander of the VP SPG is not present here this morning.
Salamat kayo, Madam VP. So, dun sa sagot na ang VP SPG coordinates with the PNP and AFP, ibig po bang sabihin ang OVP ang magre-recruit and train na mga operatives at ahente, or yung PNP at AFP ang magte-train sa mga operatives at ahente ng OVP?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, unfortunately, I cannot answer the question. The commander of the VP SPG, we failed to include him in the list of the resource persons this morning.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Maybe we can, if you can put your questions in writing, we could submit it to the Office of the Vice President, and maybe, if possible, if they, because some of these matters are quite sensitive, so you can give them in executive session, or you can give them in a sealed envelope in writing. That's at your pleasure, Madam Vice President.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, we can easily do that. We can ask them to submit to the Secretariat of this committee.
Salamat kayo, Madam VP, and salamat, Mr. Chair. I look forward to that information to be submitted in writing to the committee through the Chair. And I'm glad na marinig tungkol sa coordination sa PNP at AFP dahil sila yung dalawa sa primary na halimbawa na may expertise sa Intel at may mandate sa Intel at gumaganap ng ganyang mga mandates in coordination with civilian agencies, including the OVP. And I look forward also, Mr. Chair, dun sa mga sagot tungkol sa HUMINT at CGINT na gagamitin either ng OVP or OVP in coordination with PNP and AFP. At Madam VP, paano i-collate ng OVP, isa-store, ika-catalog, isa-search through yung intelligence na kukolektahin? At anong IT infrastructure ang kakailanganin ng office nyo para sa purpose na ito?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, these are confidential matters which we cannot divulge in open session. Thank you.
So if possible, Madam VP, Mr. Chair, maisubmit din in writing to the committee through the chair.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, yes. Thank you.
Salamat kayo. And then, paano po ini-intend ng OVP na i-process tapos i-analyze yung impormasyon na kukolektahin para mag-produce ng actionable intelligence? Kakailangan nyo bang i-outsource yung parting ito ng intelligence cycle o magde-develop ba ang office ng capability in-house?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, we can ask the VP SPG to include that in their report. The VP SPG are composed of personnel from the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police, and some of them are trained in intelligence gathering and are part of intel units from the PNP and the AFP. There are no civilian members in the VP SPG.
Madam VP, paano po i-adjust ng OVP yung operations ninyo bilang resulta ng intelligence na makokolekta, ma-analyze at saka ma-disseminate?
We adjust according to the recommendations and the assessment of the VP SPG with regard to their appreciation of the intel information.
Salamat, Madam VP. And yung parte nga pong yun na nag-a-adjust ang VP SPG, or rather, nag-a-adjust ang buong opisina dun sa rekomendasyon ng VP SPG, I presume, bunga na rin ang coordination nila dun sa PNP at AFP. Again, isang konkretong halimbawa na yung primary mandates para sa intelligence cycle, yung buong intelligence cycle, ay nakalodge dun sa intelligence agencies, including in the armed services ng ating gobyerno. At yung OVP, kahit through the VP SPG, ay pumapasok dun sa endpoint nung cycle na yon, paggamit ng intelligence. Dun nga sa sinabi ninyo na pag-adjust ayon sa recommendations ng VP SPG. Just returning again to one of my original points since last year na iwan natin ang intelligence sa experts dun sa intelligence agencies ng gobyerno in the same way na yung mga civilian agencies ng gobyerno, whether OVP itself or kahit DepEd, ay kumbaga shop nila yung kanilang mandates at yung kanilang expertise. Huling tanong na lang po, Madam VP, Mr. Chair, yung activities na binanggit ng VP kanina, hindi po ba part na rin ng regular law enforcement work na yung mga law enforcement agencies natin ay ginagawa na rin?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, we have different mandates from the other government agencies. So our intelligence our confidential funds are used according to Joint Circular 2015-01. And whatever we gather from our confidential funds and surveillance, we share it with mainly the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police, as well as they share as well intelligence information that they gather which are not included in our database. Thank you.
Thank you kaayo, Madam VP. I'm glad to hear na nag-share or mag-share ang OVP ng information na nakolekta ninyo sa AFP at PNP. Again, because it makes the point na sila talaga yung primary na may mandato talaga, not any other civilian agency. Sila talaga ang kasama sa may mandato sa intel work. Lastly, just to make of record also, continuing from yung pagbanggit ko sa 2015 joint resolution na what the confidential funds may only be used for, nakasulat din dun sa 2015 joint resolution na confidential and intelligence funds cannot be used for salaries, wages, overtime, additional compensation, allowance, or other fringe benefits of officials and employees who are employed by the government in whatever capacity or elected officials except when authorized by law. Confi and Intel funds cannot be used for representation, consultancy fees, or entertainment expenses, or construction or acquisition of buildings or housing structures. So, daghang salamat, Madam VP. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. I'll pursue in plenary periods of interpellation and amendments. One of my main subjects of debate with the OVP na yung Confi and Intel funds mas properly lodged talaga dun sa ibang line items ng opisina mismo o sa mga intelligence agencies talaga ng ating gobyerno na ginagawa itong mga mandates nito even for the civilian agencies and offices and departments like the OVP. Salamat, Mr.
Thank you very
Chair.
much, Deputy
At salamat kay
Minority
Minority Leader sa
and
additional
Vice
minutes.
Chair.
Yung pinaka talagang striking sa akin na tanong, videographer, ito, nung tinanong ni Senrisa nga, yung alin dun sa mga primary mandates na yon ang masusuportahan o specifically gagastusan ng confidential funds na i-allocate ng Kongreso sa opisina nyo. Di ba? Ganun, videographer. Kasi may mga mandato nga. So, parang may sinagot dun si VP Sara. Parang ako, kasi sanay talaga ako, VP Lenny pero syempre, ang realidad, VP Sara. Sige, ang sinagot nga niya doon na medyo stutter, diba? Medyo nautal lang konti. Panoorin niyo yung video, mga bata helmet. Ayan nga, yung buong video.
Kung naintindihan niyo yung sagot.
Oo, diba? Kung yung sagot niya, tumugma ba sa simpleng tanong lang ni Senrisa? Oo nga pala.
Simpleng tanong.
Bishop Kapar, yung bang Office of the Vice President, yung museo ng OVP at yung Omnibus Law, kasama ba yon sa mga primary na paggagastusan? Kasi ang inaano dito ni Senrisa, kung ano yung mga susuportahan niyang confidential fund na na-request. Diba, Bijugapur? Nakakaloko talaga mga kabata helmet, no? Parang ikaw, kunwari ako, si Nita, humingi ng pera sa nanay. Naan ba yung pera?
Bakit?
Wala lang.
Ano wala lang?
Wala lang, gusto ko lang humingi.
Saan mo naman gagamitin yung pera?
Secret. O yan, mga kabata helmet. Kung hindi nyo pakilala si Nita Magalpok, puntahan nyo ang TikTok account ko. Makikita nyo at makikilala nyo si Nita Magalpok. Baka kalain nyo na ano lang ako dito. May character kami doon sa TikTok. So, puntahan nyo na yun. So, ayun nga, Bijugapur. Super saludo talaga ako kay Senrisa Ontiveros. Ang galing talaga. Ang galing niya. And,
tapang niya.
Oo, bukod sa matapang siya, ito kasi yung totoong boses sana ng masa. Ito sana yung boses ng mga Pilipino na sana naitatanong natin. Sana ito yung mga katanungan natin sa mga, huwag yung sabihin na hindi nyo yan natatanong sa mga sarili nyo. Kung kahit sino man ang binoto nyo, kung si VP Lenny man ang binoto nyo, o yung kabilang kubol, o kung binoto nyo yung VP natin ngayon, malamang sa malamang, tinatanong nyo pa rin yung mga sarili nyo kung ano naman nangyayari sa bansang Pilipinas. Diba? Kanina nga, Bijugapur, napalitaan ko na makikita bunso, ang kamatis.
Ano na naman ang nangyari sa kamatis?
Talaga. Ang isang kilo ng kamatis, 500, Bijugapur.
Ano?
500. Kaya ang bentahan pala, 15 pesos ang isa.
Ang isa?
Miyo. Kaya pala, minsan, pag bumili ka ng inihaw na tilapia or inihaw na bangos, wala ng laman. Uling na lang. So, ayun mga kabata helmet, i-comment down below nyo dyan kung anong masasabi nyo sa Q&A ni Senrisa at ni VP Sara. At kung akma ba yung mga sinagot ni VP Sara, pero ako mga kabata helmet, ito personal ko ng opinion to. Based sa napanood natin na video, medyo nakulangan ako.
Saan?
Nakulangan ako sa sagot ni VP Sara. Nakulangan din ako kung paano yung bang confidence niya na sumagot. Pero may confidential funds. Pero yung confidence ba na parang pak-pak. And based din sa mga comments niya sa video na yan, sabi nga parang may advisor din daw. May
coach nga siya.
Coach. Tsaka
tutor sa tabi.
Tsaka, kasi nga DepEd may tutor. Pero sabi nga, diba, ni Senrisa, dun sa umpisa pa lang na may iba siyang pasasagutin eh, di ba? May sasagot for her part. Pero sabi nga ni Sen. Risa, maaari po ba kang sumagot? Dito ay si VP Sara, di ba? Si Kaayo. Kasi nga, ano naman din siya, apakasimple lang naman din ang tanong. Di ba mga kabata helmet, kung ikaw, sure ka, sasagot mo, at totoo yung sasagot mo, kasi yun naman talaga yung totoong nangyari, hindi ka mag-stutter, hindi ka mag-iisip, kahit wala kang kodigo, kahit walang script yan, kayang-kaya mong sagutin. At ito pa mga kabatang helmet, meron din ako napanood na parang may mga katanungan, hindi ko alam kung kabataan party list yun, or kung anong party list yun, kung yung, kasi yung parang sa teachers, videographer, yung acts, parang tapos sa magsalita. Pero ito, alam ko talaga party list representative to, yung kabataan. Tumayo na kagad si VP Sara. Habang may tinatanong pa, habang may sinasabi pa tong representative na to, na kabataan nga, for the kabataan party list, tumayo na si VP, umalis na. So, ayan, mga bata helmet, comment down below nyo dyan, especially for the trolls, sa mga bashers, troll farm, ano masasabi nyo? Ano masasabi nyo kasi Pilipino pa rin naman kayo eh.
Oo.
Kakayanin nyo ba na yung pinapakain nyo sa pamilya nyo, ito dito nanggagaling at ito yung realidad na talagang ang hirap na naman sa Pilipinas, naghihirap na tayong lahat. So ayun mga bata helmet, i-comment nyo dyan kung ano yung boses ng masa, ano masasabi nyo at talagang sagot tayo kay Sen. Risa Ontiveros at hindi talaga tayo magsisisi na iboto siya muli, di ba, videographer?
Oo naman.
Sa masusunod pang election kung siya itatakbo. So, ay mga bata helmet, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe tayo as always. Belated happy anniversary for the Masaya ng Pag-asa, no, videographer? Bongga
More
na.
to come.
Oo, talaga, more
Congrats.
to come. And talagang tuloy-tuloy na yan. Congratulations sa ating lahat, mga bata helmet, especially for the Angat Buhay NGO, Angat Buhay Pinas, and syempre kay Atty. Leni Robredo na patuloy pa rin sa pagtulong. Kahit wala nang posisyon niya, kahit hindi na nakaupo yan, mas masarap pala talagang videographer, yung tipong makikita mo kung sino talaga yung public servant na talagang totoo.
Yung public servant na private citizen.
Yes, yung public servant na private citizen na talagang bukal sa kalooban, yung totoong pagtulong, hindi lang sa camera, hindi lang press release. So, ayun mga kabata helmet sabi ko kami sa buhay niyo, nag-helmet din ang book, keeps getting better every day. God bless everyone!